you ever feel overwhelmed not just by your own intense feelings, but seemingly everyone else's feelings? This episode is for you. Episode 88 of the Feel Better Everyday podcast. You can access show notes and everything else via the feelbettereverydaypodcast.com. You can subscribe wherever you want to subscribe. And you can also access loads of free resources and find out other ways in which we might work together through selfcarecoaching.net. Each Tuesday, I release new episodes to help you take better care of yourself, that highest, wisest, truest, most miraculous part of yourself, create a life you don't need to retreat from, and help build a world in which everyone feels safe, welcome, and able to thrive. And that starts with you. So in today's episode, we're looking at ways in which, I'm recommending one particular way in which you can honour that beautiful, extra sensitive nervous system of yours. And rather than feeling, it's overwhelming, I can't do anything, you recognise that you need extra care, extra buffer time, extra space, that you're deserving of connecting with your own feelings. And I hope that what I'm recommending will help you. So with autism, with ADHD, with trauma, with AuDHD, sensory issues like hypervigilance, it's all very much our day-to-day. And with that in mind, it's natural that we have become, even if we weren't born attuned to other people's needs and moods and potentially walking on eggshells, just wanting others to be happy, all of that. For some people, it goes into hyposensitivity, where it's just too much, shut down, not doing it. And for others, it's hypo-empathy, as opposed to hyper-empathy, where that feeling, not just your own, but everyone else's, it can feel and be debilitating. It might be you go to a party and you get cornered by someone who you don't want to be rude to. You learn boundaries. All of this gets much, much easier, but boundaries are much easier to set and assert and maintain when we're in that good place, when we're feeling bombarded, when there's that sensory overload where it's just too much. Our defenses go down and it can feel like we just want to move away to a cave in the forest in the middle of the earth. It doesn't have to be like that. So working with the Feel, Love, Heal framework that I developed, for the feel part, that's the lowercase hyphenated self-care, the regulatory, the things you can do to help yourself feel better. It's really about looking at your schedule and thinking, how can you create and protect some space for silence? I've talked about my weekly 12-hour mini retreats before, and full disclosure, I had a journal to get off to press, and I'm, at time of recording, going away for my first holiday in over 9 years. So manic preparations, trying to get everything prepared. And it's been a few weeks since I've managed my own weekly 12-hour mini retreat, and I'm feeling it. But I also know that when I get back from the holiday, that will be a non-negotiable, because it's so beneficial for me. By having that silence, by having that time each week, I do over Christmas a 24-hour one, which is even better. But I've spoken in previous episodes about this. It just wasn't sustainable. I'd think to myself, on the bank holiday weekends, I will do that. And then instead I joined a sub-aqua club and I've been going snorkeling around the country, which has been really lovely. But doing less, 12 hours, half of what I thought I needed, most of the year, most weeks this year, it's been amazing. And I know each week, when life gets too peakly, and don't get me wrong, I adore people, I love people, but I need time to completely connect with myself, to tune in to myself, and I need to not feel on call. So loved ones have my landline number. It's not technically a landline, it's that VoIP internet, but it means I can switch my phone off. No telly, no washing machine, nothing noisy, just so 12 hours might sound like the height of indulgence to you. It might sound like nowhere near enough time. Look at your schedule. Think about what you need. Be honest with yourself and create and protect that kind of space for yourself on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. And experiment with it. It's not all or nothing. This is just about giving yourself space where you withdraw your senses from everyone else and you instead attune to your own. If you're living with others, it obviously complicates things, but there are many people where they do kind of the silence in companionship, and that can be even more nourishing depending on the relationships. And this will be information as well, but it might be that you live with lots of people and you can still take yourself away and have some time to think purely about whatever you want to be thinking about and not be bombarded with other people's demands or perceived demands, because you feel like you can feel what they're feeling with that hyper empathy. So moving on to the love part, and it's accepting your sensitivity. It's reminding yourself that you're part of nature, you're part of the divine, and you are created exactly as you ought to be. And the more you honor how you are, the greater the contribution to the world you can make, the more you can enjoy doing the things that help you make those contributions to the world. Denying what you need is not going to help. Beating yourself up is not going to help. Telling yourself you're too much, you're too sensitive, any of that is not going to help. If you haven't already listened to my episode with Tracy Otsuka, the author of ADHD for Smart Ass Women, links in the show notes. She does loads around helping us remember that we're not too much. And there's also the Alice to Carly Radford episode. And Carly in particular is a sensitivity counsellor. She specialises in working with sensitivity. She's autistic, and both of them absolutely delightful. I really loved recording both of those episodes, so there'll be links in the show notes, and check them out. And I'm also aware this is my job, this is my work. I spend so many hours every week talking to clients, talking to supervisees, talking to groups, writing, recording, and I still have to use that soothing tone to myself when I feel like, oh, I shouldn't need whatever it is I need, or want whatever it is I want. I shouldn't be too sensitive. Recognizing your sensitivity is and can be a superpower, but that's when you protect it, not when you let it overwhelm you. When it can be in that kind of ventral, that think of a cat purring. It lets itself purr and it's not helpless, it's not defenseless. It's allowing itself to be completely present and embodied and strong. And it knows that if it needs to leap into action, it can completely do that. But it's not going to stop giving itself that sun puddle, that glorious stretch, that delicious drink, whatever it might be. We can all be more cat. And if you haven't already checked out the cat episodes, the feline better every day, the rescue catitude and polyvagal purrs on Instagram, I'm actually going to be creating accounts for all the cats so they can. Anyway, that's for another day. But I use the rescue cats to help to illustrate polyvagal theory, because it's much simpler than the jargon makes it sound. So the more you recognize, yes, your hyper empathy can be a superpower and you need to protect it, you need to honor it, you need to work with it. And that might involve silence, that might involve space. This episode is around Silent Night coming up to Christmas. Very cheesy, I know. But think for yourself, it might be a silent hour, it might be a silent half hour. might be like I can't imagine where I'd be without my daily meditation, and I do it in different chunks. I don't do huge long chunks like some people. You need to work with your brain, you need to work with your window of tolerance, you need to love yourself exactly as you are, and know that you were created and are perfect, and you know what you need, and it's about giving yourself permission to have that, rather than instead berating yourself and telling yourself you shouldn't need it. So that's the love part. The heal part is to find or create community, the collective care. So the love part, it's that uppercase self-care, that highest, wisest, truest, most miraculous, joyful, brilliant part of yourself. And for the heal, it's the collective care, the co-regulation. In an ideal world, you're going to be able to tell your nearest and dearest what you need. They're going to respect it. All is going to be wonderful. In reality, people may want what's best for you, but they also have their own priorities, and it's potentially an advanced practice. And you're going to have hopefully people in your life who help champion you and who help champion your need for space, even when you're struggling to honour it yourself. So think about who you would most love to talk to about this in your life. Feel free to email eve@selfcarecoaching.net or comment on any of the platforms where you're listening or watching, or where you've come across this episode. Share with someone who might benefit. Talk to them about it. How might you do it for each other? How might you help each other honour that space, that time, that silence, however long or short, and ask for exactly what you want. So you're asking yourself and you're giving it to yourself, and it will get easier the more you ask yourself and others, and you'll recognize the benefits, and it will then be easier to protect that and to honor it for yourself. So in the Soul to Soul Circle this week, and there's a link in the show notes to the Soul to Soul Circle, we're going to be going to affirmations. So similar to affirmations, but affirmations, and they'll be designed to help you. And if you're not already a member, you're welcome to join, but to help you imagine how you got to this space where future imaginary you, happy, healthy, delighted to be around people, knowing that you have stronger boundaries and you're no longer that hyper empathy victim to everyone else's feelings, but you can instead ground, you can resource yourself, and you can be present, but you are no longer getting sucked into that. So that's our deeper dive this week. Thank you, as always, for listening. This has been episode 88 of the Feel Better Everyday podcast, produced by me, your host, Eve Menezes Cunningham. And there'll be more next week. And if you haven't already subscribed, feel free to do so. If it's been helpful, it would be helpful for me if you were to leave a comment or like or share with someone who you think will benefit. Leave a 5-star review. It helps to get it out. It's a small independent podcast, and basically, the more people I can reach helping people with trauma, with ADHD, with AuDHD, to help yourself create a life you don't need to retreat from, that's helping others as well. Everything I do, everything you do, it has an impact, it ripples out. So in order to reach as many people as possible, I really appreciate you doing as many of those things as feel good for you. And thanks again for listening. And you can find more at selfcarecoaching.net or the Feel Better Everyday podcast.com. Also follow me on any of the socials, and there are links on the site as well to that. Let me know how you're getting on. I love hearing from you. I love sharing all of this and how we're all so uniquely human, and the more we get to know ourselves and the more we befriend our unique ADHD or AuDHD brains, the more we heal our trauma, the better life gets. You were wired differently for a reason, and it can be a wonderful, wonderful thing. So look after yourself, and I look forward to sharing more next week. Thank you for listening or watching the Feel Better Everyday podcast. This episode, like all of them, was produced by me, your host, Menezes Cunningham. You can find full transcripts, links, and more information in the show notes, and also at selfcarecoaching.net, as well as more information about the book, 365 Ways to Feel Better, Self-Care Ideas for Embodied Wellbeing. And if you're interested in those deeper dives, joining the Soul to Soul Circle, as well as lots of other free resources and information about other offerings. If this episode was helpful, please leave a 5-star review. In a world in which so much is coming up for healing and so many people are feeling unsafe, I want to do whatever I can to help as many people as possible heal from trauma, helping create a world in which everyone is safe, welcome, and loved, physiologically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally able to thrive. So your subscribing or liking or sharing feedback and other support helps me help as many people of all genders with trauma histories and ADHD. And your learning to take better care of yourself isn't just good for you, it creates a ripple effect helping others heal too. So keep looking after yourself, do what feels good, let yourself honour your nervous system, let yourself honour your charge, your life force, and Mila Buikas, 1,000 thank yous.